crypto investing, and you can see as we thought, I thought the CPI would be above 9% this morning when we talked, and I told you as soon as it came out and I had a free minute as I'm driving from one plant to another before the ultimate ass chewing of the century for a big fuck up over the weekend. You can see CPI report, U.S. inflation reaches 9.1% in June, because they come out a month later, right? After the previous month, they come out maybe through the next month. As old Vincenzo''s been telling you, we have an inflation problem, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. Even during when the Fed was saying there was no inflation, old Vincenzo was saying there was inflation. U.S. inflation reaches 9.1%, highest in nearly 41 years. The consumer price index reading for June was higher than May's annual 8.6, so it's up 0.5% month over month, right? Increase, which is very, very bad. Stocks fell on the open after the release of the data, right? Grocery prices rise at fastest pace since 1979, and this is a big problem that I've been telling you. Consumer prices, energy, oil, and food, we're going to keep accelerating to the upside. The consumer goods that are necessary for life that you cannot do without is where you're getting hit the hardest now, as the inflation has finally moved out of the assets into consumer prices, and that's much, much more damaging to the low and middle income families when it's in consumer goods, food, energy, right, housing, and all that kind of stuff, because you need those necessities to live, and when they go up, people struggle and they suffer. You can see grocery prices increased 12.2% in June from a year earlier, the largest increase since 1979. Costs for butter and margarine, fruit and vegetables, and cereal all rose briskly, which means rapidly. Some economists say the food prices should ease through the coming months, given a recent pullback in agriculture commodity prices, right? It could help, but I still think those are going to continue to accelerate and continue higher for a few more months. You can see gold went down a little bit, but I believe it's just offering a once-in-a-generation buying opportunity for gold as people start to figure out, and the money starts to figure out what's going on, that the Fed can't stop this inflation, and they're going to call off the dog. Probably by the end of this year, you're going to see gold and silver and oil and energy start to skyrocket again after its recent retracement. So that's what's going on there. And if you look at what's happened in the Bitcoin price, you can see the Bitcoin price is all over the place, right? You can see we started out this morning down here at the top part of the white support zone, had a big pump up, about 2.5%, and then a big flush as they released the data, and now we're starting to come back up again. But now you got major upper resistance at the white support zone and the yellow descending line with the horizontal red line, the old all-time high of 19,083-ish, 93.69-ish from December 2018. And those are my big areas to watch today, because if you get harshly rejected, you could have a big flush crash down to 17,378, and that's what I'm watching for there. You can see Ethereum has the same price action as Bitcoin, and that's what we're watching out this morning. It never came up as high. It had a little bit of a pump, and then it dumped. But we have this underneath target. If you get rejected and confirmed rejection in the hour time frame, you can see where we're going to trade down to next on the next big flush. Brings you down to $633. And across the board, it's the same thing. XLM, you can see we're coming down to that underneath blue ring that's sitting at about 10 cents, right? Zcash continues to flush. Algo is coming down. It's about to get to that 28 cents. And then you got to watch an Algo. You come down to 18 cents, right? We don't want there. And then we got XRP. You can see it now came up to the moving averages, got rejected, and we're now at the bottom part of that white support zone. If you fail to hold that, you're coming to 28 cents initially, and then I think you're coming down to that 18-cent target that we've had for quite some time, coming down from that symmetrical triangle breakout, right? We'll continue to bring you breaking news today. You can see the dollar. We're going to have a phenomenal fiscal and monetary policy Friday video. It's going to be must-see. A lot of data coming out with that. Look ahead to the Fed rate hike and future rate hikes and what I think is going on. As you know, I've been thinking we're in an inflationary depression. where we're going to have depressed growth, certain assets being depressed and deflating, while consumer prices, commodities, oil, all continue to the upside in an up and down fashion, which is going to be bad for the overall equity markets. It's going to be bad for the financials, and it's going to be bad for the average working American. And middle income and poor families are going to get hit the hardest and hit fast and swift. And you can see that happening now. You can see the dollar continues to trade up on the inflation news, because that means the Fed's going to have to be stronger on inflation, at least temporarily. And you can see the Dow Jones getting slaughtered. The NASDAQ is starting to come back up a little bit. It's had a violent whiplash today, but I think these are going to continue down. There might be a brief rally as the Fed talks, like it's happened the last 2 months, but we'll pay attention for that. As more information on the CPI comes out today and people give press conferences, I'm sure the Fed will speak and say something today to give a little bit of a heads up and an insight on what they're going to do next week. And we're going to stay on top of that here, as I'm your most trusted source for blockchain technology and cryptocurrency breaking news and coin updates here on YouTube and in the cryptocurrency sphere, right? As old Vincenzo's brought back truth and integrity back into the trading sphere. And we'll give you more updates repeatedly and multiple updates this week and next week, as the time is now that we need to stay on top of this. And old Vincenzo will keep you 69.69 steps ahead of the trading competition. Peace and love. Peace and love.